Hey there, everyone. Brothers, sisters, family. I've never been, I've never had the inclination to make a YouTube video. This is my first one. But I really feel that the Father has laid something very, very deep on my heart tonight. And it has to do with Psalms 82. Psalms 82 is where the Father takes his place in the divine council. And he begins to speak. And it's very, very deep. There is a lot there below the surface. And there's also a lot there on the surface. Superficially, it's still a very, very deep scripture. But it's really conveying a message that I think that the world isn't hearing, which I guess it wasn't meant for the world, but it was meant for God's children in the world. So I want to just touch there, and we'll start out by reading it, and we'll pick it apart a little bit, try and get to the marrow. God has taken his place in the divine council. In the midst of the gods, he holds judgment. How long will you... And now this is in parentheses. Once it starts in Psalms 82:2, it's now in parentheses. So somebody is speaking in a first-person perspective. Let's see if we can find out who is speaking. How long will you judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked? Give justice to the weak and fatherless. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. They have neither knowledge nor understanding. They walk about in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are shaken. I said, you are gods, sons of the Most High, all of you. Nevertheless, like men you shall die, and fall like any prince. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for you shall inherit all the nations. First, arise, O God, judge the earth, for you shall inherit all the nations. That just really speaks to me. The Father is not coming here to inherit all the nations. Okay? Let's get that clear. We can debate it. I'm open to all views. I love to group source. But right now I'm group sourcing with the Father. And this is telling me that it's something to do with us, the sons and the daughters of the Father. Okay, Christ was the firstborn of many brethren. Okay, so let's go back up here to how God has taken his place in the divine council. In the midst of the gods, he holds judgment. Okay, and then it goes into parentheses on 82:2. Who's speaking there? The Father is speaking there. The source, the Mother, Father, Creator, is speaking to the divine council. Now let's see if we can figure out who the divine council is. See, the Father sets up into the divine council and begins to speak and to pass judgment upon them. Do you think that the Father is sitting there passing judgment on the angels? They were made perfect already. They're not here running around messing up their life. They do what the Father asks, and that is it. They are servants of the Father. and that's what they do. They weren't given free will like we were. We were given the right to choose. So we end up judged by the Father. So the Father is setting up his podium in judgment, and he's speaking to the divine council, us, the sons and daughters of the Elohim, the El of the Elohim, the Adon of the Adonai. How long will you judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked? Well, how long, world? How long? I see guilty people walk free every day. Every day. And it's disgusting. But us poor folk, if we even step out of line once, spit gum on the sidewalk, jaywalk, we have to pay this exuberant amount for a fine, thrown in jail, for stupid little stuff. But yet we see the elite walk free. I don't want to just point out to the elite, but it's people with money and who can afford lawyers walk free because of loopholes. Okay, that's injustice. Why are there, let's just move on. Let's move on. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. But give justice to the weak and the fatherless. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute. Maintain the right of them. Okay? That is, maintain order, not just order, but you see that people are afflicted. See what's wrong with them. Make it known to yourself what is afflicting them, and how can we help them. It's something that needs to start happening in this world. I know some people are very giving and want to help people, but we got to be bold. It's time. It's time for us to be bold and step out there and help people. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute. Those who can't help themselves. Those who don't know how to help themselves, the destitute. They're afflicted in their sins, and they just can't see past their own hand. Jesus says that we are deaf, dumb, and blind, and know not what we do. And his people perish for their lack of knowledge. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. You see something going on? Step in and help. We're not so small that we can't do anything. The journey of a thousand miles begins with a single step. All it takes is one step in the right direction. The world is never going to change until we start changing it. We're not tiny. We are very big. We just have to start. We have to start somewhere. All it takes is one person stepping up and saying, you know what, I'm going to lead. This isn't going to be right. We're going to change the community. You start with your neighborhood. Then you get to your community. And then you go to your city. And then you go to your state or county. And then multiple counties. And then state. Then you can start thinking about changing the country. All it takes is one. That's all it takes. And I want to be that one, and whoever wants to join up and start changing our neighborhoods and our communities and our cities, and just really start making a difference. I'd love to join up with any one of you out there that would like to start doing that. That's where it begins, is just right here, just group sourcing each other. Everybody can bring something different to the table, and we can do something. We can make this world a better place. They have neither knowledge nor understanding. See, that goes back to where Jesus said, my people perish because of their lack of knowledge. They walk about in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are shaken. The very earth cries out to the Father for the things that go on here. The very earth cries out. And if we didn't testify, the very rocks would testify. Our very earth is crying out to the Father. How long? How long? It's very sad. When the earth was created a perfect being. A perfect being. I said you are gods, sons of the Most High. All of you. That's so powerful. See, the same light that the Father is, He gave us a little piece of that light. And it's inside of us. But a lot of us have stuck it under a basket. And we're smothering it. I count myself among you because, hey, I've been a sinner too. I've done my fair share. Just to give you a background a little bit, I was a drug addict for over 20 years. I'm 33 now. I've enjoyed my fair share. Partying, drinking, chasing girls. The normal stuff. But a few years ago, about 3 years ago, the Father woke me up. So you gotta change this. Because I need you to change the world. So here I am. It's taken me 3 years to figure out that YouTube is actually a good platform. And I can start here and start with my community. I try and do as much as I can in my community, and I work for free. When the widow next door needs her roof replaced, her house painted, her yard cleaned up, that's where it begins. I wouldn't say go join the church, but that's a different subject. But, networking with your local churches, your local food banks, your community centers, the Boys and Girls Club, it all begins somewhere. And networking with the churches and stuff in the community centers, it's a great place to get to know people who also have the ability to network. And you can do so much. And it just starts with that single step. I was a drug addict for over 20 years. It's not a cool feeling. It's not a cool feeling to have to look back at that and say, wow, Father, I'm sorry, that was me. Oops. But I don't want that to be me anymore. I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed to even be alive. I tried to kill myself 3 times. Felt like a failure at that even. Couldn't even do that right. But I'm glad that the Father preserved me. I'm ecstatic. Let's talk about that. You are God's. And the scriptures cannot be broken. Spoken by the Christ himself. Let's go to that. It's John 10:34. Right now, let me give you some context. The Pharisees, I don't want to say Jews, that's not appropriate to just name them as a race, but the Pharisees are questioning the Christ. And they're asking him, is it not good? Is it not for good work? Oh, they're telling him that they want to stone him. There we go. And that's in 10:33. Jesus answered him, It is not for a good work that we are going to stone you, but for blasphemy, because you, being a man, make yourself God. Jesus answered them, Is it not written in your law? I said, you are gods. I just want to point one thing out to this. Christ said, is it not written in your law? See, Christ isn't claiming any ownership of this law. This might be for a whole nother video, but what does that say about the Old Testament? That law wasn't the Father's. That's what I'm being given right now. That law wasn't his. Which God was it that gave that law? You're going to have to search deep. And I know it's tough. I know it's tough. When the Father first revealed this to me, I was sick. Physically sick, couldn't get out of bed for 3 days. Everything that I had ever known and been told, and from my pastors, from my family, from my friends, from everybody that I trusted, I was lied to, and they didn't even know that they were lying to me. Because they were taught by someone else, and that someone else was taught by someone else, that this is how we interpret the scriptures. And it's not fair. It's not fair. Because somewhere along the line, somebody knew that what they were saying was a lie. Somebody has to take accountability for it. And you know what? I've been there. I used to follow the 613 Torah laws. I used to keep Shabbat. I used to refuse to work on a Saturday, kept that for many years. And I used to keep the 7 feast days. It's a very, very crappy feeling when you find out that those were never his, and they were never meant for you. Let me show you something, since we're going in this direction. We're going to go to Exodus. I'm sorry, I had this in here and I've the window got closed out on me. But Moses goes up Mount Horeb to receive the first commandments from the Father. Okay, when he comes back down the mountain, he hears partying going on. Well, while Moses was up there getting those commandments, I'm sure we all know the story. If you follow the Bible, you know the story. The people said, well, Moses is probably dead. He went up there to go meet God. Nobody could stand in his presence. He's probably dead. So they say, Aaron, make for us a god that we may worship. So Aaron took a plate and passed it around for everybody to put their gold and silver in. Moses put this gold and silver into the fire, and the scriptures, the extra biblical scriptures say that out came a calf, not shapen by any hand. That's something to think about. So Moses comes back down and he hears all this partying and he sees the orgies going on. He sees the worship going on and the blood sacrifices going on. Sacrifice wasn't of the Father. That was from a different God. I know it's hard. I feel for everyone out there because I've been here. I've been there. And I know I'll probably catch a lot of flack from good people, good brothers and sisters out there that mean well, that think that they're defending the Father. Well, the Father has no need of defense. Our God is not that small. Please think about it. He is not that small that we need to defend him. The Father is truth and light and love. There is no darkness or hate in him. So, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. So Moses comes back and he throws the tablets down on the ground, right? And they break. It was one tablet. It was the law of love that Christ came to give afterward, because the people rejected the law of love because they wanted sacrifice and they wanted to justify their evil ways of hating their neighbor and not loving them and being able to manipulate and to screw their neighbor out of money and goods. They weren't ready to love. So Moses went up Mount Sinai at this point. And it says that Moses went up Mount Sinai. Okay. Exodus 20, verse 21. Exodus 20, verse 21. So, Moses went up Mount Sinai this time into he met God in a unutterable darkness. I know I've read over that scripture so many times and not realized it. Sorry, excuse me. I've read over that scripture so many times and not had it click until recently. This is what made me sick. This is physically what made me sick when the Father revealed that to me. So Moses said to the people, "Do not fear, for God has come to test you. The fear of him may be before you." So the people stood afar off while Moses drew near to the thick darkness where God was. Okay, what did Jesus say about the Father? My Father is light, and there is no darkness in him. Right? I just want everybody to start questioning what they've been told, because the Holy Spirit will come and teach you and lead you into all truth. You don't need any man to tell you what the scripture means. All you need is the Spirit inside you that will cry out to you, this is what it is. And you just got to trust it. Because we have no need of a teacher. That's what Christ said himself. We don't need any teacher to teach us. The Father will send the Helper, and the Helper will teach us. So I guess I'm going to leave it there for tonight. And hopefully you guys receive this well. I pray for you, and I know it's going to take at least sitting down in your prayer closet and questioning the Father. That's what I said. I said, Father, look, if this isn't you, then who are you? I want to know you. I don't want to know a God. Because in the Bible, Elohim, El is singular. Eloah is what Christ cried out on the cross. Eloah, Eloah, I believe it was Eloah Sabachthani, I believe is what he said. Father, Father, why have you forsaken me? So, he called him Eloah. That's the only time that he has made the name of the Father known that hasn't been taken out of the Bible completely. There are other scriptures that have been taken out of the Bible completely because it gave too much information and the government wouldn't be able to control us. Not even the religious sects. See, the world controls us by our religious views and by our political views. And if we know too much, then we are out of control because we don't need to be controlled by them. We don't need to be controlled. If we live by the law of love, and we're not. See, if you love others as you love yourself. So first you must love yourself, and then you can give love to others. If I have love, and I give my dog love, well then my dog has love, and we can both still have that love and give that love, and we can both then share it to others, that I still have love, he has love, and we can still love others. And so it's a perpetuating thing. It's not a debt system. It's not debt. It's not like I have $1 and then I give you that $1. Well, now I don't have that $1. It's all about, it's the only currency that replicates itself. So, I just want to say that I cried out to the Father and asked him to reveal himself to me. And He did. He did, and he'll do the same for you. If there's anything that I'm sure of, an open and contrite heart crying out to the Father of all, he will definitely hear from heaven and open up to you. That's it for now. You folks have a good night. Love and light to all. Blessings.